Has Mazda made their best-selling vehicle even better? Hey, it's Corey, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and yes, I am in Southern California behind the wheel of the 2026 Mazda CX-5, the brand's bestseller. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a tour and also talk about how it ranks against some of its big rivals in the hottest selling segment in all of the automotive world. One of the biggest things that stood out to me right from the get-go is how this stacks up against the brand new 2026 Toyota RAV4. Yes, both the segment sales leader and this contender for the crown are all new for the 2026 model year, and this Premium Plus model serves as their top trim currently, and it undercuts the limited version of the Toyota RAV4 by thousands. As this one sits, this Premium Plus trim starts at $38,990 plus destination. We've got some add-on features. I don't know the actual price of this particular one, but a Toyota Limited RAV4 starts at $43,000 for an all-wheel drive trim. Now, you might be saying, yeah, well, that Toyota RAV4 is a hybrid, it's got more power, it's got more fuel efficiency. What powers the Mazda CX-5? And I'm very glad you asked, but I'm going to take you outside to show you. Before we talk about what is under the hood of the Mazda, I want to sample what is under the hood of this, the just updated 2026 Toyota RAV4. This is the segment sales leader, and they're very hard to get right now. But underneath the hood here, we have a hybrid 2.5 liter four-cylinder, making a total system output of 236 horsepower and 163 pound-feet of torque. But it is good for these fuel economy numbers. Coming back from that engine, we do have all-wheel drive here on this one, routed through an electronic CVT, versus what we get over in the Mazda. Interestingly enough, there is only one powertrain available on this at launch, and it is what was the base engine in the previous model years. That is their Skyactiv 2.5 liter four-cylinder, here making 187 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission and sending power down to all four wheels. Now, a lot of that may sound very outdated to you, and it does to me as well, and that's why I want to jump back behind the wheel and show you how this thing drives. So, given that we only have one powertrain and it is essentially the base engine from the prior generation, how does it stack up? Well, as the numbers suggest, it's a little on the weak side. I feel like it is the Achilles heel of an otherwise really good package here. It could stand a turbocharger. It could stand for more torque. It could stand for more gears from our 6-speed automatic. The entire package all put together doesn't quite have that Mazda soul that stems from the MX-5 Miata. And that's a little bit of a shame. But many people buying this platform are more concerned about the cargo space, the comfort, and the overall usability of this CX-5. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour, show you around there. As we take a look at the style of the CX-5, it's evolutionary more than it is revolutionary, and it is very curvaceous, but leans into Mazda's Kodo design. Very much looks like the bigger and larger CX-70 and CX-90s, on which it shares a lot of its DNA. Mazda does have their new navy blue here for us to check out as well, and yes, you can see just how svelte and curvaceous the style is compared to the new hammerhead nose with the new updated headlights and the corporate style of the Toyota RAV4. And I do believe this will appeal to a much different crowd based on style alone. This Limited does sticker for $43,000 as its starting price, but as we already talked about underneath the hood, we do have more power and more fuel efficiency. Our top trim Premium Plus rides on these black wheels that I feel are slightly understyled for a vehicle of this nature, and they're wrapped in some Toyo Open Country HT tires. On the Toyota are these 20-inch wheels with multi-colors finishes on them. They do look a bit more classy if you don't like that solid black look. And here we are wrapped in some Bridgestone tires. Style on the rear of the RAV4 has been deemed a slight controversial piece of kit because a lot of people are claiming, well, it looks like a Nissan Rogue, it looks like this, it looks like that, but it is definitely more boxy than what we get on the back of the new Mazda CX-5. So I can show you apples to apples what the back end looks like on a white Mazda CX-5. Here is the updated rear end styling that borrows heavily from the bigger CX-70 and CX-90 and does definitely class things up with Mazda spelled out there in the middle, removing the rear logo like we see on a lot of new Lexus Prolex as well. The big news comes with all the big changes on the inside, but what is very familiar are these very comfortable leather wrapped seats. The Toyota RAV4 Limited will give you their Softex synthetic leather, whereas we get full-on leather here in the Mazda. Moving back to the back seats, we can get a good panoramic view of the new dash, which does include this large 15.6-inch display that takes up a lot of your eye line here looking from the center of the back seat, but does flow very nicely for those in the driver's seat. Just being able to glance over, even on this home screen, being able to see not only what is playing for your music, but your turn-by-turn directions. Now, unfortunately, I can't get inside this one, but I will put some B-roll over the screen to show you the Mazda absolutely walks away with the interior infotainment, having the segment leading screen size there on the inside for driver and passenger infotainment. Yes, no doubt by now you've noticed this massive screen here in front of me that is even bigger than what is in something like a Toyota Sequoia, and it's 14-inch screen. This is 15.6 inches of screen real estate, and it does everything for us. They've moved a lot of physical controls here to this large screen, but luckily, unlike some other automakers, we still get physical controls for our headlights, so a huge win for Mazda there. But stuff like your climate control in here, stuff like your seat memory function put into here, your heated and ventilated seats put into the screen. A lot of stuff is baked into the screen, and they've got a pretty good, pretty snappy user face. They partnered with Google. Does have Google built in, so it works quick and snappy and like a smartphone or a tablet would. We've got this dedicated home screen here that you can see we're listening to some music. We've got our navigation. We even have this visual representation of our car that turns the brake lights on when I hit the brakes. All around, pretty good system here. Not revolutionary for the industry, but just kind of catching Mazda up to all the competition. Coming to the steering wheel, it is new for this 2026 Mazda CX-5. New buttons, new everything. The entire wheel is new. In fact, we even lose the Mazda logo there in the center. We get a lot more controls on the steering wheel itself, including a quick access button for our 360 cameras. Speaking of those 360 cameras, I'll go ahead and push this button here. We have a lot of good camera views on this CX-5, including being able to pan around the vehicle itself. So Mazda really is making the most of all of their screen real estate here with the largest screen ever affixed inside a Mazda product. In addition to being able to pan around the vehicle, we also have multiple different camera views here, including a wide shot. You can see both your tires in the front. You can trigger it to automatically come on at low speeds, which is something we see from Toyota. And another Toyota-esque feature we see is the invisible car feature, in which it remembers what you drove over, kind of fills in the gap from there. It even works in reverse, which is a very cool feature. That is not a live feed of what's underneath the car, but it is simply remembering what the vehicle passed over in its journey to its current situation. You can see we also get dynamic turn lines that help you figure out exactly where you are and where you're going to park as you point it around. Very cool, very classy, very nice touch. We also have this home row of buttons here. You can see we've got sliders for the HVAC, including our fan speed. We have a slider here that is a 2-button press in order to get our volume up or down, which is interesting. But talking about this large 15.6-inch screen, there is a bit of a texture to it. It almost feels like touching paper, but if you want to protect your screen in your vehicle, that will be a job for our video sponsor in Screen Protect.
They make the film that goes over top the infotainment screen and digital dash. This is a great product. It keeps the smudges off, keeps the scratches off, and it actually makes the screen for the infotainment screen more of a tacky feel. So on long road trips, like I just finished a long camping trip, it was easier for me to pull up my music, pull up my podcasts, and use the map. My finger didn't slip around so much on the screen, and it was easier to use those systems. I also kept off a lot of the smudges, fingerprints, and didn't have any scratches from, say, anything I was using. The screen still looks brand new. I have any problems with it, I can peel it right off. I can order a new piece of film, go over top of it. It's like you would with a cell phone. It keeps that screen nice. So I'm not worried about any time in the future having a scratched screen, and I can keep that looking like brand new. Go ahead and get yours at screenprotect.com. About $60 for the infotainment screen and the cover. They have it for all makes and models. Get 15% off. Use discount code PICKUP15. They make this nice little cylinder. It's like a boutique kind of cylinder. It comes with all your screens in there, and then they have a application that with a little applicator and a really nice high quality cloth used to clean it, as well as after you apply it, and some spray to put it on. So easy to apply. I've had videos on the channel on how I've applied it, and it's held up on my truck and my wife's Ford Ranger. We've both been really happy with this product. So make sure you get yours. I really was looking for something for these trucks we buy that have these really big screens. Make sure I want it protected. This has been really good.
One of the things Mazda is most excited about with this new CX-5 is just how much space they were able to find in the second row. They added 4 inches of wheelbase, and most of it, if not all of it, goes to our rear passengers back here. I have copious amounts of space behind my ideal seating position at 5'10". I have a nice pitch to the seat back here, and even though it doesn't recline much, it does give me just that much more comfort when I want it. I do have a fold down armrest that doesn't flop all the way down to the seat bottom, air vents on the back of the center console, and heated outboard seats here on this top trim. All the way around, I do believe all 4 passengers, 5 if you have someone in the center back here, will be extremely comfortable in the CX-5. Rear cargo space has been improved too. We do have a power opening rear hatch back here with the Mazda logo gone and Mazda spelled out on the hatch, but they are very proud that they lowered the load-in floor, made this a taller and wider opening all the way around, allowing you to get more stuff in here. In addition to these remote latches on the sides that fold down both outboard seats, I can now also fold down the 20% center section of the back seat for long items like surfboards or maybe a bag of golf clubs, since I am at the golf course. Who knows? Another thing Mazda is very proud of with this is all the safety and technology baked into it. This particular one has the optional lane centering, adaptive cruise control based system that works nicely and is the first implementation of automatic lane changes in a Mazda product. You simply tap on the blinker, it looks for an opening, and it guides you into the other lane, which is a nice touch, I guess, if you're into that stuff. Mazda is clearly proud of how it lines up against segment sales leader RAV4 in these key areas, and you can see the vehicle's safety history definitely shows a strong advantage to Mazda, but the RAV4 is not the only vehicle they see them as very strong and competitive against, because they have also brought the Honda CR-V, the second best seller in the segment, and this is meant to compete more with the volume seller, so they did bring the EX trim. One thing they are very proud of on the preferred trim of the CX-5 is it gets updated seats, no cloth seats in that one, and a power hatch, where this EX does not. And of course, we do have our safety comparison down here at the bottom, which is still very strong in Mazda's favor. Last but not least, we do have the new updated Hyundai Tucson. It did get a facelift for the 2025 model year. And here we have an SEL Premium all-wheel drive. You can see they're pretty close in price, but we get a lot more tech here in this one. The Mazda preferred models do get the smaller 12.9-inch center display screen, which still is favorable to the 12.3 in the Tucson. And you can see here, it definitely matches up much more favorably against the Mazda in overall crash safety testing in its historical brand context, I guess is the right word there. But there are the three biggest competitors as Mazda sees it to their new CX-5. So what are my thoughts after driving this through winding mountain roads in Southern California? It's fine. It's very competitive, and it serves as an alternative to all of the other vehicles in this class. This is the most competitive vehicle class in the entire automotive industry, and I think Mazda has got a really good package here. Again, I'm very curious of the engine transmission choice, but I have a feeling something more is cooking that we just haven't gotten yet in this one. So perhaps that one major gripe I have with this 2026 CX-5 will be fixed in time. Otherwise, it is a very good package, very well built. The materials feel great. It feels solidly put together. And then they've got all their traditional safety stuff, 10 airbags, all that baked in here with new technology. I'd say it's a compelling package that should win over a lot of people. If you want to see more from us, be sure and check out the website. There is a video over here that YouTube thinks you should watch. Be sure and click the logo there to make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you down the road.